Before I start this video, I've got two updates. Update number one, I'm hopefully going to start uploading again. Depends if college work gets in the way or if I lose motivation, but I feel like I could come back, at least make 2 videos or whatever. I've got 2 videos set up at the moment. And another change is the Obscure Oddity series. The rules are going to be changing a bit. Instead of just targeting people that have gone completely off the wall on YouTube, I'm going to be going after just insane people on the internet. So this could be on other platforms like Twitter, SoundCloud, or in this case, Deviantart. So without further ado, enjoy the show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Mr. Sneaky. Let's enter the loony bin as we find some people that have gone off the deep end. When you've been on the internet as long as I have, you realise some websites are filled to the fucking brink with loonies. And in this case, we're going to be going after a certain individual by the name of Neopets 2012. This individual produces amateur art, Mugen characters, random. It's just all fucking random. Well, without further ado, let's get straight into the video, shall we? He also produces not safe for work content, but we'll get into that part later. To understand the man behind the page, we must first look at all information we have on him. Every DeviantArt user has access to something called the Deviant ID. This is a little card that allows them to explain parts of themselves. Neopets has one. Here's his ID card. So he goes by Joey Slikk. He's an artist, a student, and he's into film and animation. He's born in the United States. He's currently 19 years old. Remember, this is important. He's doing this art at 19, so yikes. He also doesn't condone cyberbullying on his page, highlighting it in capitals, of course. He also asks his audience to please not ask for a real-life picture of himself. His words, not mine. He also lays down some websites he's a part of, Fair Affinity being the key highlight here, since that is a very not safe for work website. Along with all this information, he also has his favourite buttons sections. Now these are used to explain all the franchises, all the characters, all the anything you are a fan of. Neopets, there's quite a few of these. Let's read them off, shall we? Gumball and Darwin, SpongeBob, Scooby-Doo, Tails, Garfield, Sonic, Chowder, Mickey Mouse, Patrick Star, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Mario, Homer, Mordecai, Classic Mickey, Fat Albert, Rigby, Wallace and Gromit, Luigi, Mario Bros, Sanjay and Craig, Panty and Stocking, Simpsons, Ren and Stimpy, George Goodlake, Finny Gill, Arthur Reed, Rias Jeremy? I don't know. Gumball, Geo Guy, Little Guy, Silver Bullet Proof, Joey, Gary, Nanaraman, Marshall, Ren, Stimpy, Geo Guy, N. Alice, Minion Fan, Charlie Brown, Human Boo, Bloom, Angry German Kid, Isha, Stella, Musa, Konota Izumi, Ritsu, Yui, Ayumi, Chio, Tomo, Yukari, Timon and Pumbaa, Mr. Game & Watch. We're not done yet. His favourite shows are The George Show, Amazing World of Gumball, Adventure Time, South Park, Regular Show, Family Guy, Harvey Beaks, We Bare Bears, Lucky Star, Aqua Team Hunger Force, whatever the fuck that is, The Milk Only of Haruhi Suzumiya, Peg and Cat, The Bonadukes, Izumanga something, Rugrats Fan, Pop Team Epic. His favourite movies, which he only has one, thank fuck. The Lego Movie. His favourite button games are Mugen, Super Mario, and Super Mario 64. His favourite programs are MS Paint, Sony Vegas, and Photoshop. His favourite button sites are YouTube, DeviantArt, and Google. And his miscellaneous things are Female Werewolf Comics, Windows, Mail, American User, Button Maker, Adult Swim Fan, Google, Chrome. Never again. Never again am I fucking doing that shit. Neopets first started producing art at the age of 13. This image is the first ever image he drew. Unfortunately for Neopets, this image was not very well praised, like, at all. In fact, the comments was filled with cereal box spam, which In fairness, it does kind of look like a fucking cereal box. As you can tell, this image was literally made out of circles and fucking squares. And he continued this art style for a while. Even one depicting some sort of sex scene, I don't know. Eventually his art did improve just a little bit, you know. Started getting better and better at his craft. Further up on his page, you may discover that Neopets also participates in the creepypasta community. This is the old creepypasta community, so it's just as bad as you think it is. He's made a few creepypastas. He made a creepypasta about the Berenstain Bears. He made a creepypasta about himself? I don't know. It's just him in the style of Sonic EXE. He made Carlos.avi, which we'll be reviewing in the next video. He also produced a Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya creepypasta, which is actually a sequel to an already shit creepypasta. After scrolling through what seems like infinite amount of Mugen screenshots and pictures of Joey Slikk, you will find a weirdly common fetish on Deviantart known as vor. I'm not going to explain it. You have to fucking look. Looking into these images, it looks like he drew them for another individual on the website. You dirty bastard. The funny thing with these images is the fact he has to specifically put a sign in the stomach to explain who the girl is. He also thinks his audience is too dense to understand the word stomach, put in tummy in brackets of course. As far as I can see, besides the cereal box sex scene, this is the first risque content on his account. But not to fear, ladies and gentlemen, it gets much worse. Another key thing I'd like to elaborate on is the fact he has a weird obsession with angry German kid known as Leopold Slikk. Now if this is indeed his real name, Neopets actually ripped the last name from angry German kid's name. And not only that, but he's produced a long series on angry German kid, as you can see all the thumbnails on his Deviantart page. Not long after, he created his own female character known as Hourglass. This character was deliberately made busty. I think this character was designed the first time he found a fascination with women and their body. As you can see, there's loads of Hourglass here, all cooped together. I think he's going through a phase. It's here that we discover his character, Angry Ted, which turns out isn't a character at all. After looking through some of these Mr. Ted posts a while back, I took note of one description. He told him to send him a note if you want more information on Mr. Ted. After reading this description, me being me, I decided why not. So I fucking visited his note section and I sent him a message asking who Mr. Ted is. I also asked him if I could have a link to his Twitter account. Neopets then gives me the following information. He made a Twitter account 7.5 years ago that you can check here. But don't tweet or you'll know about us. I have no idea why he's meant to keep this Twitter account a secret, but due to his wishes, I will in fact be censoring the link. If you want the link, you can ask Neopets yourself. Cutting to modern day Neopets, you will see his content has taken a drastic turn. Now he mainly posts GIFs and screenshots from mostly anime depicting women in sexually explicit scenarios. And scrolling down, you will see some not safe for work content he has drawn. Now, rather scarily, there are genuine uncensored versions of this on Fur Affinity, which he advertises in each of these not safe for work pieces. I will not be showing them here, as obviously I don't want to see them uncensored again. I've seen them, they're fucking horrifying. And the YouTube admins would 360 no-scope my ass into oblivion, so I'd rather not run the risk. So you might be wondering this late into the video. Right, how the fuck is this kid insane? The insanity ensues when you check his Deviantart journal section. His journal started off innocent enough. His first ever journal was made to stop trolls, which didn't really work. The title of this journal is All of You! And this journal says, "Stop making fun of me, or I'll block you for 12 million years! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Angry face." Another journal says, "Ugh! My computer is running slow!" And it reads, Why the fuck is my computer running slow? I'm gonna smash my keyboard if it doesn't get any faster. Fuck my computer. Fuck it hard. My computer sucks ass because it runs slow on me while I'm playing Mujan. I need a new computer that runs faster! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Quite reasonably, some guy tells him to calm the fuck down before I'd include that comment. After a bunch of miscellaneous journals talking about Mujan, channel updates, rants, all just information about himself, I scroll up and I've found that Neopets has issues with his mother, occasionally venting about it with us, his Deviantart followers. He ranted about getting into an argument with his mother, and he ranted about not being able to listen to Japanese voices around his mother. There's also a journal about Neopets being a master of trickery, talking about how he set up a camcorder while someone was installing a font for him on his computer in order to nick their password. While this is clever, I suspect it was obvious as he got detected almost immediately by his mother. And his mother, in quote, doesn't want him to be a sneaky man. That's just insulting to my name, Neopets. Just hit home. I feel sad now. But we're gonna fast forward a bit. Neopets starts asking questions to his audience. His first question is a suspicious question. Has anyone got caught clicking out of stuff before? And he's referring to that horrifying scenario when you're on any web page and you click in out of it just as someone enters the room, so it looks like you've been watching some dirty pornography. However, Neopets elaborates that this can be either coincidence or you could really be fast clicking out of something. However, I'm inclined to believe the latter is true. I believe he was looking at something dirty and quickly closed out before his mother could see. Because his next journal entry reads, has anyone kept secrets from their mother or dad before? I have. Especially on the computer. Have you? Now, besides the creepy parts of shit, I don't see what you'd have to hide unless it's graphic or suggestive content. This is pretty much confirmed because in a later journal he asks, has anyone masturbated to a mermaid before? He goes on to elaborate. If you're reading this, then I want you to answer this question. Has anyone masturbated to a mermaid before? I have, a couple or a few times. Especially to the ones from Mermaid Melody. Have you? Ignoring the fact I sarcastically responded that I do in fact masturbate to mermaids on this comment thread. Acquaintance Tierney also goes undercover, stating how he likes to slap into mermaids and their fishy limbs. Hello, FYI. Someone sent me a fucking note saying I'm attracted to mermaids or some shit. He then goes on to ask basically the same question again, twice. Asking if people have masturbated to a girl with small breasts. And asked, has anyone ever masturbated to a belly dancer? Warning, this next question is safe and is a bit... it's a bit suggestive. So he asks, would licking a girl's navel make it wet? And he's referring to, obviously, to the belly button. And by wet, he specifies, I mean a girl's vagina would be dripping wet. It's safe to say Mr. Neopets isn't very pure anymore. He seemed to have matured a lot in tastes, starting to develop a taste for women, expand into other franchises, and yet the sad thing about all this, whereas everything else matured, his drawing abilities have not. So you might be asking, why have I not gone on his YouTube channel that you stated earlier? Well, my friends, you're in luck, because I will be making a part 2 to this video, where I'll be getting Lieutenant Tierney, also known as Goomba, and Mr. Mullins, aka Hivemind. Together we will review some Neopets content, and I'll be discussing it in more of a traditional Obscure Oddities approach. If you enjoyed this video, or rather didn't enjoy, please leave in the comments what I can improve on, so hopefully I can grow and expand my channel to greater heights. If you want to support me, please consider liking and subscribing. That'll be the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Just a quick shout out during the outro. I'd like to shout out my good friend Surreal Storm. I collabed in 3 videos of his, one where I played Dragon Ball Fighters and 2 when I reacted to random videos off the internet. So if that strikes your fancy, please make sure to check those out. Thanks for listening.